So there has been a lot of speculation over Virat Kohli and what exactly his status is going into the T20 World Cup. Not because there was any doubts over his selection. We all know he's been named in the squad, but there was talks over whether or not he'd be joining the team at the same time, because there were reports doing the rounds that Kohli had requested and was in fact granted a small break after the end of the IPL playoffs, which he wanted that little bit of time to be with his family before going out to the United States, flying out with his teammates. Now, what we also know is that in the first batch of players who departed, Kohli was not in fact part of that group, and there was talks as to certain players, choosing to delay their travel. There was Kohli. Sanju Samson was another name that did the rounds. He had some personal work in the UAE. Hardik Pandya as well is already training in London and would in fact be joining the team from there. So there's been plenty of talks over particularly Kohli, because again, for him, he's someone who a lot of people see as being the key guy, someone who's a must-have person in the team, because without him, your chances of a win go down. So why exactly was there so much speculation, and what is the big update that we have when it comes to his availability for the first warm-up game which India will be playing, and incidentally first and only warm-up game that India will be playing? First, let's take a look at why exactly it is this so much speculation. At first, as we mentioned, he took a break and he was granted that break by the BCCI after the playoffs because he wanted some time with his family after the IPL was done. Remember, he only recently welcomed a second child into the world, and it is understandable that he'd want a little bit of time at home before flying out for another month potentially, and this time around, of course, in a very different country with different time zones as well. And then to make things, but what that did was cast a little bit of doubt as to whether or not he'd be there in time for the Bangladesh game. Now, Bangladesh game is a warm-up game that will be taking place on June 1st. And there's no official status to this. It's just a warm-up game where as many people can bat, as many people can bowl. None of it is that important, but it is also something that will be telecast because a lot of fans are expected to be tuning into the game. And having a Virat Kohli there would be a big plus, and that is the good news, because a BCCI source confirmed to a news outlet in News 18 that Virat Kohli will reach New York before the warm-up versus Bangladesh. Whether he plays or not will be management's call. Now, it's understandable why it is that management would want to wait to take a call before declaring that he will be playing in the warm-up game, because again, it's a long flight and it may very well be touch and go as far as his arrival time is concerned. But what we are now at least getting to know, and what's good news for a lot of fans, is that Kohli will be there and he will be available. Of course, that means the turnaround time is going to be quick, because as of this recording, it is May 28 and June 1st isn't really that far away. So when exactly it is he reaches, how that coordination is done, is something we'll know soon enough. But if the source is to be believed, Kohli will in fact be available for the warm-up game. Now, what are your thoughts on this entire matter? You can let us know that in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook. Don't forget to download the AajTak app, and if you're already on the channel, go ahead, check out some other videos we've done as well. For now, from my side though, it is goodbye.